I want to thank everybody for stopping back by another episode of the Raider Critique, and this is the pregame review for Week 6 in London with the Seattle Seahawks. Now, you guys are probably going to be getting this video at around game time. It is extremely late for me to be dropping this video, but I figured that everybody does deserve at least a pregame and a postgame, and, well, it's just been really hard to get everything situated and get everything lined up, especially with everything that's gone on this week. Had a lot of sickness go on down here in these parts because it's gotten colder, and with the weather change, everybody's getting sick. And it's been off and on sunshine and rain, so the grass out there really is growing, and I've been working profusely to try to catch up and get everything done to where I'm able to sit down on my weekends and watch football and anything else that I might have planned. But, we're going to go over a few things. We're not going to really go into, much detail like we would in most pregame videos. We're just going to spit it on out there. I'm going to go over my 5 keys to win, and then we will go over the prediction of what I believe is probably going to happen. Now, we are playing in London. From what I can tell, our coach doesn't travel well. He looked like when he got off the plane. Now, of course, during his press conference, I'm sure everybody watched it, that he does not like flying, and this was pre-London, He doesn't like flying. He has some type of sickness when he flies, and it's really terrible on him. Well, it sure did look like that once he finally got off the plane in London. He didn't look like that he was very well rested, and he really honestly didn't look like he was ready to go at all. The only thing I can hope is that the football team will be. So, that's normally how it works out. So anyway, without further ado, why don't we go ahead and get into the 5 keys to winning, and then my game prediction for Week 6 in London. Now, I always like to go over the keys to winning, just for the simple fact that, hey, this is what we got to do to win. I mean, if you know kind of what football is and you kind of know how football is played, then these are basic layman's terms on what we need to do offensively and defensively and special teams to win the game. So we're going to go here. Number 1, run the ball. Now, these are really layman's terms because, to be honest with you, we could run the ball 13, 14 times. That's not going to get it done. We're going to have to run it up in the 20s, and we're going to have to get some really substantial gains. This Seattle team, well, I haven't really done much research on them this year, but they don't look like the same defense that they've always been, so we should be able to run the ball on this team. And with having Marshawn Lynch, I'm pretty sure Marshawn wants to show this football team that he still has it, and they probably should have put him on the roster instead of trading him to us. Number 2, mix up the play calls. So, yes, of course I said run the ball, but we also need to pass the ball too. And we need to pass the ball effectively, and in order to pass the ball effectively, we need to set the pass up with the run. It's just the way football works. You set up the pass with the run. Play actions seem to work more if your running plays are getting more than 4 to 5 yards a carry. We're going to need line help. We have all kinds of injuries going on the offensive line. Our rookie Colton Miller on the left side, I believe he's dealing with either an ACL or an MCL tear, which is really bad on a guy like that, when he gets pushed back all the time. We also are without Donald Penn because he's on IR, and Parker is over there. He seemed to do all right last game, although we're still going to need to bring in dudes like Lee Smith, Seth Roberts, and Keith Smith to help the blocking for the offensive line. And I do believe that Osmili, or however you pronounce his name, Osmeli, he's hurt too. So we're going to definitely need some line help. We need Derek Carr to make good decisions and audible if needed. I don't think we need to push a lot on this subject, but actually we do, because I have to mention it now, because a lot of the mistakes have been made by Derek Carr and his dumb, lame brain decisions when he gets hurried, when he gets rushed. He really gets finicky and he makes some bad decisions. So, Derek Carr, please make good decisions. Run the ball on the 1 yard line. I don't care who calls what play, you can audible, buddy. You are the quarterback. You are the captain. Audible. I don't care if you get yelled at by John Gruden or not. If you're on the 1 yard line, it's first down, and he calls a play action run, give the ball to Lynch. Number 5 is the best rule, if not any rule, that I've always lived by when it comes to football, because Al Davis said it. You cheat to win, if needed. And that's just the way it is. The Raider way is number 1, cheating is encouraged. Number 2, see rule number 1. So whatever we got to do, if you got to Bill Romanowski some dudes in the fumble, in the pile in the fumble, break some fingers, do whatever. Cheat to win without getting caught. I don't care what you guys got to do. Fans, if you've got laser pointers, hey man, make Russell Wilson's day hell. Because this team needs all the help they can get. So here we are, week 6. Seattle Seahawks versus the Raiders, and this is our only home game that's not at home this season, which it's probably going to be like that for the next couple of years. We don't ever play good when we have to travel that far. And I'm just being real. I'm being a realist here. I believe that the team is probably deflated from last week with all the criticism that they have gotten from guys like me and fans like us, plus the mainstream media taking their punches at them. I don't foresee this team coming out on top. What I do foresee is that this team is going to play a lot like last week. I do believe that the wind is out of our sails, but that doesn't mean that we need to hop ship. Everybody knows what happens when the wind stops in the seas, man. You grab the oars and you get ready to row. And it's going to be a long, hard journey for us. But I don't foresee us coming out on top in this game. We've never played good in London. And I honestly believe that traveling that far is a major problem for us. But I believe that we drop this game 28-10. And what I'm going to see is our defense step up and hold the Seahawks to 28 points, which is exactly what I expect out of this defense. But I expect our offense to be lackluster. I expect the play calls not to change. I expect mistakes to be made. And I expect that offensive line to be suspect. It is what it is. I'm at the acceptance stage now. I know we suck. It doesn't change the fact that I'm a fan. It doesn't change the fact that I love this team. But I know that we're not any good this year. We are in a rebuilding stage. That's just, I've accepted that. And I'm sad about it. 2 years separated from a 12-4 season, and we're right back into a rebuild stage. Now, I lashed out last video at John Gruden. I really lashed out at John Gruden. I really lashed out at the organization and the team of all the moves that were made, But see, that's a conversation for another day. And we are actually going to get into that this next week during the bye week. Now, it's not going to be with Mike and Murph. It doesn't look like it's going to be with Watts Raider. I'm going to actually be bringing a guest in here who happened to be my ex-co-host, and we're going to sit down and talk about the organization moves and how we feel about the state of the Raiders as of now. So stay tuned for that episode. That will be next week. I will be giving you guys a post-game review after this game is over. Let's go Raiders, but I really do honestly believe that this is going to be the week where we basically rule ourselves out of the playoff picture.